like most of the laws say something like moderate, basically moderate spanking, but it can't be corporal punishment where it's gonna damage the kids for life or something like that. Cause
Man, aren't you fine?
No,
real
no,
talk.
no, you're
Gray,
not. You're a whole
Gray, aren't you
generation.
fine?
You're a whole generation. No, I'm not.
I am.
No, I'm not. Because my parents beat the hell
Listen,
out of
my
me.
mama didn't play. Listen,
No, no, I don't. I don't whip my kids.
well,
I do not whip my kids.
well,
I mean, you seem fine right now, though.
well.
Yeah, everybody seems fine. Mike Tyson seems fine when you ask him for an autograph, right?
Yeah. Since I know you like the talk. Since I know you like the talk, and I know you not that far. Come down the street with the guys. Come down the street with the guys. Since I know you like the talk, and I know you not that far. Come down the street with the guys. Come down the street with the guys. We got the main coach out on the ones and twos. We got the homie G-Law giving breaking news. We got Megatron up here, catch on my dude. Real talk here, man, don't get it confused. A few black men with excellence on a daily. Different situations spoken on daily. Speaking facts around here, real fast though. Real fast around here, big fat homes. Don't mix the real on this cast, bro. You can even come and have a good laugh though. And they only giving people what they ask for.
All right, man. It's the local dudes. We back for another one. Welcome to the Guys Down the Street podcast. I'm here with my boys. I got Gray, Mr. Law G3, Georgia State Panther. He's married with father of four. My boy Gerald, G1 Megatron, former bodybuilder, NPC Dutch Classic champion of the novice division. Heavyweight class, that is. Single, but he's a father of two. And I'm Isaiah, Mr. One and Impossible, Georgia Bulldog, married, father of two. That introduction was based on the topics we talking about today, dog. We're going to be talking about parenting, fatherhood, raising kids in today's society. Starting today, we're going to shout out, each of us will shout out one business or local entrepreneur that we want to give props to, man. We ain't international yet, but if we can bring at least one new customer to these businesses, and it's all love. We're gonna start with you, Mr. G1 Megatron. Who you shouting out today?
Yo. Hey, man, this is my homeboy. Been my man's for MCI days up until now, man. My homie Shawn, Mr. Henderson. Some know him as Huggy Bear. Some know him as Weather when he's singing. He got his own natural soap. I know a lot of people going natural nowadays. Everybody getting away from a lot of chemicals. And I know you got these soaps out here that if you got sensitive skin, it got all kind of preservatives and chemicals in it. Well, he got all your all natural soaps, man. He's been doing it for about 10 years. Off and on, but now, long as he's been doing it, he's now perfected his craft. He's back doing it again. He's very successful at it right now. He don't have a website, but his Instagram is Weather864, and his Facebook just Shawn Huggy Bear Henderson. They got a Facebook. I forgot the name of that Facebook group, where you can do a lot of your business and stuff like that through a group. But you can look him up. He got the all natural soap. And ladies, I'll tell you right now, if you're trying to get your feet soft, your boy got you. Soft feet. Don't put them hard feet on your man because he ain't trying to feel it. And men, got something for you too, man. Ladies love the way you smell. They put their head on your chest and she be rubbing all on your boobies like that. And then she get the licking on your ear because you smelling all good because of Shawn. Hit my man's up, yo. Good soap, man. He deliver and he got cash out. So,
All right.
good shit, man.
This is just a note. We will have all the links in the description for any social media, website, or contact information. You can check that out. All right, Mr. Law G3, who you shouting out today, bro?
I'm gonna shout out somebody, man. I'm gonna shout out my boy Terje, Pollard, the Pit Boss Sauce Company. He's real easy to find on Facebook. Good food, good sauce. Does well in the community, man, as far as outreach, coat drives, taking up clothes for kids, up in the youth groups and everything else. Real good dude. Always been good people. Been working on this business for a minute. Been trying to get it to where it's just stationary in one place versus just doing the catering. But, right when he was getting that worked out, he got hurt at work and COVID set in. So he's getting back on the grind now. But have some real good wings, real good person to get involved with, and it's helping out as far as like Christmas drives and open the West Greenville area that's still there. So that's what I'll give him. But he's easily found on Facebook, so I'll let you find this information there versus giving it out online.
All right. Well,
yeah. Hold up, back to Shawn. He called himself Soap King on Facebook. Soap King.
Soap King on Facebook. So we got Shawn Huggy Bear Henderson with the natural soap, and we got Terje Pollard with the sauces. And you can find both of these people on social media. Well, like I say, we'll also have it in the description below the video. My shout out for the day gonna be my other half, my better half, my wife, the Mrs. Cassandra Tolbert-Fowler. She is a reseller. She sells on Poshmark and eBay. She has IG Cash with Love. It is also Cash with Love on Poshmark and Cash with Love on eBay as well, and her link will be in the description. Reselling lady shoes, kids clothing, and a number of other things. She's been doing it since 2019. Shout out to my baby. How was the week, G? Anything? Hey, what's his name? Chief? Chief still speaking to you all the time?
Man, I don't fool with Chief no more, man. I tell you what, Chief better quit parking my damn parking spot. I parked damn near across the street at another business because I want my car parked beside nobody. Now he don't start parking his truck way out there. Nah, man, the week been good, man. My leg done healed up.
You ready for the next race?
I just started back. I'm ready. I'm gonna warm up on the next one. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna get his ass on the next one. But my leg better. You know what I mean? I just started back hitting legs, so I'm feeling good. Been a good week at work, man. Ain't no problems. Trucking life. You know how we do it. We patient drivers, and I tell you what, but something was on the radio that hit me. What's y'all favorite chicken sandwich? Like, what y'all like to eat y'all chicken sandwich from?
I can either do Chick-fil-A or Popeyes. Just depends. Popeyes too far from my house, so I don't go a lot. But if it was closer, I'd probably get it. But I can do either or.
My man's.
Sounds bougie, but Table 301 has probably got the best chicken sandwich in Greenville area.
Well, you talking about sit-down restaurants. Now we talking about fast food.
No. I'm talking about right off the food truck, man.
Oh, okay.
My man's. Something came on the radio. A lady. I know Chick-fil-A got some good ass chicken sandwiches, but a lady impersonated that she was a federal agent to get a free sandwich at Chick-fil-A. They said she was dressed. They said she was dressed like Men in Black.
Oh God!
And they said she was a federal agent and she wanted a free sandwich.
Oh my God!
Her ass went to jail. They busted her ass for impersonating a federal agent, man. I thought that was funny.
Oh, that's too much.
A Chick-fil-A thief,
that's
boy.
Too much,
Oh
man,
you hear all kind of stuff on the radio, man. When you in that driver's seat, man. A lot of stuff a lot of people don't hear, but man,
oh my
God, right, that was funny. I love their sandwiches, but I'm not finna dress up as something else to get a free meal.
Yeah, nah. What about you, great man? How the week went, man?
Week was good, man. Can't complain. Work life, home life, homeschooling. Everybody in the same place at one time, always. So hey, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Thankful that I'm still here and everything's still good.
Well, I had an interesting week this week as far as the homeschooling or the virtual school experience, which is why I didn't edit the last video till yesterday. So Tuesday.
I noticed that.
Tuesday I was supposed to edit the video, but then as I was leaving work, something told me to check my son's grades, and once I checked them, bruh, I was so hot I couldn't even type what I wanted to type because I knew he had his. I couldn't call him, but I knew he had his iPad, and I knew he was on the game at that particular moment, so I just typed. Now all it read was "Get off the game right now," but that's not how I said it in my head. In my head, I said, "Get your off that game," because when I looked at his grades, man, he had 270 somethings and 350 somethings, and it wasn't because. So I was like, "Let me check these grades, man," and it's not because he getting bad grades on his test. Man, this dude is not really like putting all his focus in the school and missing turning in assignments. Some he thought he turned in. I don't know, man. I got home, man. Oh, bruh, it was rough. So we've been spending the rest of the week making sure he's absolutely focused on everything, and now everything's in the 80s, and all the grades ain't even been turned in yet. I'm like, man, you gotta focus, man. I'm like, you so focused, you remember everything on these games, dog, but you ain't, you know what I'm saying? But you can't focus on if you turned in an assignment or not, or you turned it in the wrong way. You know, you ain't submitted like the teacher told you to. Like I had called the teacher. We had a video conference. I'm hot 400 hot like juvenile. I'm like, boy, I don't know, boy. I tell you, if he was in high school, we'd have had to go in the backyard, boy. But hey, that's how the that's how the week ended, man. We on good. We good standing now with that. So I made him catch up all that work. Hey, thankful to the teacher. She allowed him to actually make it up, because what I noticed in the little screenshot, she'll send like slides saying who all ain't completed assignments, and there was a lot of names on the slide. So, but just to try to make her job easy, man, I told him we gotta stay on that, dog. So that's what that was.
It's crazy. South Carolina, I mean, they put out there in our district, we've had 50% of the kids fail. 50% of the kids in school and virtual school fail right now. So maybe they should look at the fact that the way they're doing virtual school might not be effective as it should.
See, this was my thing. Like, you know, the first thing I did was took responsibility for not checking, because the first quarter he made all A's.
Yeah.
And literally all I did, I come home every day and say, man, you know, did you do all your work today? He'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, you got any homework? And then he'll say, you know, yeah, no, and we'll figure it out. And I only actually checked his grades on backpack like twice in the first quarter, all A's. Why would I think I need to change anything up? You know what I'm saying? First 2.5 weeks of the second quarter, you know, like I said, it wasn't even a notification that I got. I just, you know, decided to check. Now the teacher sends emails to all the parents saying, make sure your kids, you know, did all their assignments and things like that. But I'm thinking, if you got an all A student and then he don't turn in 10 assignments, at what point do you send an individual email and say, hey man, check your son,
right?
You know, or something. So I don't know, man. I ain't gonna condemn him, because this is the first time for virtual school for everybody. So I'm just like, if he hadn't been in school, I had a call like, oh, he ain't turning stuff in. So I'm just like,
oh yeah,
you know, we're getting zero. Well, actually, you know, he'll get either zero, or some assignments they give what they call 50%, just so the kid won't get zero until they turn it in or something like that. I don't know, man. It was rough this week, dog.
Yeah.
I couldn't get to no editing. I was getting frustrated. I was like, you know, I'm supposed to be editing my videos. Yeah, so
it's all good, brother.
Hey,
it's life. Life shit happens. You know what I mean?
And then led into the weekend. It wasn't a lot of good games this weekend. I mean, half of the SEC out with COVID. Clemson was on the bye. Ohio State was on the bye. I'm like, ain't no good college football on. I mean, I caught a couple of I watched some of the South Carolina Ole Miss game. Boy, Will Muschamp at the end of the game, they missed a call or something, or messed up the clock situation or something. He was on. He said he got to go.
Oh yeah, that was on the first half. Yeah, that was on the first half, man. They left him 1 second on the clock to kick that field goal. He cursed out everybody. F your mama, F your daddy, F everybody.
Man, you only want to know how much money I lost yesterday.
But I thought you told me you ain't bet on. You ain't bet
I
on
thought about
soccer.
it. I was gonna tell you.
No. Hell no. I knew not to bet on that.
Yeah.
I should have took the over though. But a lot of the games that you would think Muzz would beat, they just didn't do much, man. But I got told, and I was chasing the money yesterday because on
bet on that Miami game, did you?
On Saturdays, no, but I should have. On Saturdays, I go 12 o'clock, I go 3, 4 o'clock, then I do my later games. So I pick, 2 or 3 teams or 2 teams, or I pick 2, then I take a single team, and then I go down to my 3 o'clocks. I take either a parlay or a couple single games. Then I go down to later games. But I start out at 12. Got my head told down. Now I'm chasing the money. Now I'm trying to chase what I just lost. Go to the next sale games. I think I took who did I take? I took Penn State.
You said
they cover.
I was about to say on somebody on Facebook. You was like, I need one more touchdown or something.
Yeah, I took Penn State. They covered
points, though. He took them with the points.
They covered.
They covered, and then I combined Penn State with I forgot who I combined. Michigan.
Oh, they got
man.
That's who it was. They got hammered, dog.
Tell me why I was 28-0 the first day of quarter. I was like,
man, them players done gave up. Them players done gave up on Harbaugh, dog. Like, there's no way Michigan, even with bad coaching, loses to Wisconsin like 40-something, 38-something to nothing, dog. I think if they score,
at
home. Bro, like they
That's
just say,
no
they say it's time for you. Even the players, they like, hey, it's time for you to go, man. We're just gonna go out here and go through the motions so we can say we did it.
Yeah.
So
just took a couple over games that didn't cover. So yesterday was a bad Saturday for me, boy, on gambling.
Yeah, and like I said, I only checked in on a couple of games, and then last night I watched that Crawford Brooks fight. Like, Gray, did you watch it?
Yeah, I fell asleep because it was taking so long, but I woke up right when he was knocking it out.
But listen, at the beginning though, Brooks came out good and Crawford came out right-handed. But even though he was southpaw, he came out right-handed, which allowed Brooks to keep getting jabs in on him. Brooks won I would say Brooks won the first round, and they split the second round. But then when he went to southpaw, Brooks didn't even know what world he was in. Because when he went southpaw, he was blocking that right jab, and he was blocking Brooks' jab, and Brooks couldn't do that. Brooks didn't know what to do, and then once Terrence Crawford hit him, he hit him with a right hand, almost knocked him through the ropes. It was a wrap.
Yeah, I seen that. I was like, God, y'all.
Hey, he was on one side of the ring and then started walking the other way.
I was like, what? Terrence
I said, no, just fall.
Because at first, I watched Mayweather. I watched the interview with Mayweather. He talked about how good Terrence Crawford was, even though Mayweather actually trains the other dude that's really good. I forget what his name is. They comparing to Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he trains little Shorty Rock. I can't think of his name.
But then they asked him who Mayweather thought was the pound for pound best boxer. He said Terrence Crawford. I'm watching the first 2 rounds. I'm like, this the dude you said was the best pound for pound? Got in the 3rd round.
Terrence Crawford.
He was laying them haymakers. I was like, okay, I see you.
I'll tell you who the best right now. And I only watched maybe 1 or 2 of their fights. Them damn twins.
I know you're talking about. I be seeing the promo for them.
Boy, them damn twins, hell, boy.
Hey, speaking of, y'all know Nate Robinson is on the undercard for the Tyson Roy Jones fight?
Yeah.
Nate Robinson used to play for the Celtics. Nate Robinson, dog.
When did he start training boxing?
I don't know.
He's fighting somebody.
No, he on the undercard.
Somebody, right?
I was like, you know what? I want to see Tyson Jones, but I don't know. I might, a little bit of that money, I might be willing to pay for Nate Jones, see Nate Robinson fight. Dog. I was like, Nate Robinson fight?
Hey, he hang out with rappers and shit now?
I was like, I didn't even know that. He looking all hard. I was like, hey, like my wife said, for all we know, he could be a bad man with them hands.
Hey. You already short too?
For real.
That short man complex? Probably a little damn Energizer
Probably.
bunny.
You know what, Gerald? I can see that because that's how he played basketball.
Hey, be on his ass like a dog,
Hey,
bro.
hey.
But don't take but don't take one of them. No.
Yeah, either one of y'all gonna get the fight?
Jack Paul, that's who he's boxing. Jack Paul.
Yeah.
Jack Paul versus Nate Robinson.
So you gonna either one of y'all get in the fight?
I want to watch it just to see Tyson.
Well,
but yeah,
I told
initially
I told my wife I wasn't gonna get it, but I'm like, I don't know. Roy Jones, I watched the little what they call the little conference you do before the fight, press conference or whatever. I watched them both. They did it virtually, but for one, Mike Tyson, I don't know. I want to see how he looked because mentally the dude, I don't know. The dude say when he go there, he can't even.
Mike's back in shape, bro.
Yeah.
You don't follow him on Instagram?
No.
Mike is back in shape, but that's why the fight got delayed because Roy Jones is like, wait a minute, you taking this serious?
Dog.
This is not
Dog, Mike Tyson said once he started training, he couldn't even stay with his family. He said they'll kick me out. So I can't. It's the mentality. I'm like, and then I watched some of his podcasts, Hotboxin with Mike. Bruh, I wouldn't fight Mike Tyson if I was Roy Jones. I don't know about his state of mind.
Hey, Roy Jones, I hope he know it. This is just an exhibition.
Hey. Mike Tyson, that's why he delayed it too.
Hey, Tyson said, "Look here, I'm going to fight, and I want him to come into the fight. I'm not playing around."
They put a belt on it and everything. Hey. They got the WBC involved.
Tyson got one mode, and it's kill. Ain't no play.
For real. So I think I might.
Speaking of Tyson, go ahead.
I was just saying, I think I might get it just for that fact. So go ahead.
Hey, speaking of Tyson, boy, did you watch his podcast?
Yeah, I watched a couple of them. I watched the one with Boosie. I watched the one with
right there. Boy, when that sat back and he put that soprano voice on, he wasn't that little mighty voice no more. He was a real voice. Man, he's sitting there looking at Boosie. He had me nervous. I'm watching the motherfucker. I'm finna start telling him my damn self. I'm like, man, look here. Ain't no way here I can sit across from Tyson.
Smoking weed.
And he asking me questions like that. Smoking weed. And his voice changed.
Dog.
His voice changed.
I'm gonna tell you, dog.
Come on, said, let me ask you something. I'd have been like, man, look here. Show over. I'm out of here.
Hey, Tyson.
And then they had the little background music.
Yeah, he did it to Boosie and he did it to TK Kirkland, dog. Like they say something. Like TK Kirkland said something. Tyson said that
TK Kirkland, like, not you, Mike. Like,
yeah,
talking about how hard he had it out in life. He was like, not you. Like, what the f- you know about?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he said.
You right.
Mike said, Mike asked him something about the old Mike Tyson. He's like, that's not me. He said that guy's getting ready to meet God. He's like, I'm scared of that guy. He's like, cause I'm just a piece of like that. And I was like, and then TK's like, nah, you ain't. He said.
There you go. They're gonna sit back.
Who are you to tell me who I am? Who are you? You hate yourself. I was like, wait a minute, it's getting really too serious here, Mike.
You see the one with him and
he just agreed with Joe Budden. He didn't rebut.
Yeah, I watched the one with Joe. He didn't rebut it, and I watched the one with Joe Budden. That might have been the best one.
Joe Budden was like, "What's wrong with him?" Mike was just looking at me. I'd be like, "Man, look, Mike, whatever you want me to tell you, I'll tell you, because don't stand up." But I thought he was gonna get on Boosie's ass.
Well, for real, like Boosie was in that interview. I don't know, but Boosie, I don't know what his countenance looks like all the time, but Boosie looked like he about to cry. I ain't even gonna lie.
That boy said, "Let me ask you something." I mean, his voice, dog, the voice changed. Like, I knew this whole time it wasn't his real voice.
I watch it sometimes though during the week. You know, I watched some of it this week while I was helping Isaiah with his grades, with his work. Oh man, the life of parenting, dog. Hey, you know, on to that subject to push that forward. Listen, so one time we talked previously, just briefly, where Gerald, you mentioned like how we start out as kids. You know what I'm saying? Be grown kids, then we become parents, and then you got your own kids. Now you kind of taking care of you like the parent to your parent. It's like you take, you know what I'm saying, taking care of them.
We parent us for 10 more years.
So I don't know, man. It's different parenting today, man. You know that depending on how hard you spank your kids, you might go to jail. Depending on who see you and who turn you in. Just depending on what state you in. And I did not know that.
I ain't
You're
gonna lie.
gonna have people involved in your life you didn't expect to be involved in if you get caught spanking your kids in the wrong place. Yeah.
Well, and
I have somebody knocking on your door wanting to investigate your life.
it's like most of the laws say something like moderate, basically moderate spanking, but it can't be corporal punishment where it's gonna damage the kids for life or something like that. Cause
Man, aren't you fine?
No.
real talk.
No, you're not. You're a whole generation.
Aren't you fine?
You're a whole generation. No, I'm not.
I am.
No, I'm not. Because my parents beat the hell out
Listen,
of
my
me.
mama didn't play.
No,
Listen,
no, I don't whip my kids.
well,
I do not whip my kids.
I mean, you seem fine right now, though.
well,
Yeah, everybody seems fine. Mike Tyson seemed fine when you asked him for an autograph, right?
well. Mike Tyson didn't grow up in those stable situations. Mike Tyson grew up in an orphan,
Right.
So that's not.
That's why he'll
I don't know, man. How I grew up during the time, it was necessary. It was necessary to beat us. We did some shit that deserved, warranted, an ass whoop. But I don't know. I probably whipped each one of my kids once.
Well, when Isaiah was younger, like before kindergarten and stuff, I would pop him, I ain't gonna say on the regular because he wasn't that bad, but anytime he needed it, I ain't spanked him in a while because I've always felt like, and I got this from my mama, you can punish a child. Every child can be punished. Like some parents be like, I don't know what to do. It don't matter what I do. I take their phone. They keep doing it. It's something that kid likes that you can take away that will affect them. And like with Isaiah, for the most part, it's electronics. If I take that stuff away, all I got to do, like I say, hey man, when you finish eating, put your stuff in the put your plates and stuff in the kitchen. If he don't do it, after a while, I say, okay. If you don't do it, when I come up here and I see empty plates just sitting on the table, you got to get off the game. You got to stay off the game for the rest of the night. The next day, he be putting everything up. I mean, it just depends on what it is, man. So I get what you're saying. Like back in the day, it was a different time, but I ain't gonna say it's wrong or right to spank your kid. I think it just depends on the kid, to be honest.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the way the world is today, man, it's real easy for your kid to go left. I don't care if you got both parents in the house or not. Out there,
Yep.
will be more of attraction to them than in here. So you got to do something to make sure they don't go left out there. Because else, when the streets get them, it's a wrap. All these kids is smoking. All these kids supposed to be selling drugs. All these kids in the game, like 90% of school kids is in some type of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if they get their ass whooped, they won't be in it. it's that simple.
I just like, you got
Shit, I got my ass tore up all the time. I came up, and when I know something ain't right, I think about the ass whooping I got last time. I'm like, well, now I can't go with y'all. Y'all go ahead.
I mean, that's
I know. If I go over there, I'm getting towed down when I get home.
My mama was a single mama. I think my parents got divorced when I was 4. Anytime I did something up until 6th grade, that leather belt was on the back of the chair. It wasn't even no questions. We had to take our pants down, lay on the bed. People like, why you ain't run? Like, run for what? I live with her. What is running gonna do? She know where I'm at all the time. Like, I can run now. It don't matter. I would rather go ahead and take it than to be woke up from my sleep with the belt.
Hey, you get that merry-go-round ass when they hold your hand up here. You get to run around the circle, you get to hop
and then later on, she each stage of life, she figured out different stuff to affect me. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't had no cell phones, but most time when it was time to go in, you talk to your friends on the phone at night, on a little rotary phone or whatever, and she would take that from me. And then when I was in high school, she knew going out on Saturdays because we practiced sports all through the week, that didn't matter. And then talking on the phone, we didn't have a lot of time for that. But she'll take that away. In high school, she's like, okay, you want to do whatever you want to do, then don't go to the mall and the movies on Saturday. And then, hey, amazing, Drake try to get me to stay out. They like, man, come on, man, what's she gonna do? I'm like, do you want me to hang out next Saturday? They be like, yeah. I'm like, well, take me home. Like these extra 2 hours ain't gonna do nothing for me tonight. I'd rather hang out next Saturday too, dog. But it starts somewhere. Regardless of how you do it, you gotta have to figure out some kind of discipline, dog. Like, I believe kids can be shown to do or made to do whatever in the house enough times that they'll learn how to do it outside. So it's like, my kids, my son say yes sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. It's because as soon as he started talking, I required it. I corrected him until he did it. So if you want your child to say ma'am and sir, you can do that. Now, if you wait till they middle school or high school, it's too late now. They've been 14, 15 years saying yeah. You're not going to correct that. So that's just depends on what you want. So
yeah, I make sure both of my kids are doing that. I even do it now. Hell, I even do it to somebody the same age or younger than me. It's
too.
just, a sign of respect. Now, one of my styles, an old guy got mad at me. Don't call me sir. I said, okay, which one me call you? Hey. Billy? Okay, Billy.
If somebody asked me that, I'll respect it. But yeah.
Then he got that low me. That's all right, sir. I was just saying, sir, by mistake.
I do that too. I'm like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. But if you ask me not to, I'll try not to. But it's built in me, so it's hard not to do it. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a different age, Like say, Gerald, your mom was a single mama, right?
Oh yeah, boy, single mama, 3 kids, 2 jobs. My brother stayed in trouble. My sister was pretty good. My sister was good, and then I'm hanging out with my damn brother. I'm getting ass whooping because I'm young. When he goes somewhere I won't go, my brother, he older than me, so when he sneaking out the house, I'm sneaking out the house with him. I'm with him. I'm everywhere. But yeah, single mom, man. She was mama and daddy. My mama didn't play no games. You know what I mean? Street lights come on, your ass ain't home, you get ass whooped.
So was your daddy involved at all? Like, did you go over there sometime or anything like that?
I seen my pops, man. I could probably count on both hands and how many times I probably seen my pops in my life. You know what I mean? He and I got that same issue where I work a lot. He worked all the time. He did calls on the damn side, but still, when you have a damn kid and you promise this kid you're gonna come get him, you're supposed to come get him. But he wasn't really a good father figure in my life. You know what I mean? I think my brothers, they might have seen him more than I saw him.
Well, I'm kind of in the so your dad working a lot. So you say you can count, on one hand how many times you've seen him. I think my mom and dad got divorced when I was 4. My dad was there, but not there. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, he had moved to Florida. Like, I know as far as sporting events, he came to a couple of youth league things, but in high school, he came to 2 things. He came to a C-team basketball game, and then he came to a scrimmage when I was in 11th grade. The only reason he came to the scrimmage in 11th grade, though, was because or when I was in 12th grade, because my mom was in a car wreck, a real bad car wreck, and I had to stay with him for like, I don't know, a month or so. But Gray grew. You had both parents though, right, Gray?
Yeah, both my mom and dad were there. It's still difficult because a lot of times when it's both of them there, they expect the other one to do something that both of them should have been doing. And me and my brother, in New York, we ran the street so bad it didn't make no sense. But and I think they thought getting us to South Carolina was going to make it easier because, of course, they expected a slower pace of living, and they're like, they'll be okay down there. It's probably worse down here. I mean, you got to think about it.
You got more time on your hands.
And Bellmead, yeah, exactly. It was like we had way more time on our hands, so we did all kind of crazy stuff. And I ain't gonna sit here on film and try to incriminate ourselves, but yeah. Parents, I think it's more or less about how much you put into it. And, I look at sometimes at some of the people I've just coaching their career. Most of the kids who were single parents, like single moms that knew they had to stay on top of them, they were probably more disciplined than any of the kids with 2 parents. Because with 2 parents, you think, he should be helping me do this as well as, he's thinking she should be doing this to take care of her kids. So it's a little bit different, man. I didn't get a whole lot into it, but with us, it was just different. We kind of raised ourselves, me and my brother. I mean, we had both parents in the house, but eventually it just got to the point where we were taking care of ourselves.
Well, I think my mom did a good job. I mean, I don't know if that's that's like a arrogant thing to say, but I think she did a good job. I appreciate what she did. Like,
Nah, it ain't nothing arrogant about
my
that.
dad. Only thing, if I wanted something, the only thing, like, my mom was there to support. So she was at every, other than when she had the car wreck, from the time I started playing sports to the time I went to college. She was at every sporting event. Like, literally, when she got out of the hospital, out of the wreck, she came to Berea for the game, and they wheeled her in the wheelchair in between the bleachers. Like, if I had the one thing I would have wanted was my dad to, like, push me in sports. Like, you know, my mom wasn't going to push me. She just said, if you start, you ain't going to stop. You can't quit if you start. So, know what you want before you start. So, she was there to support, but, like, wasn't nobody there to show me how to shoot a jump shot or nothing like that. But my thing is, my dad's dad wasn't there for him. So, what he was giving me was the best he knew. Because my dad wasn't there for him. You know what I'm saying? So, and sometimes you might not realize that until you get older. Because I'm like, people like, you can be like, yeah, he wasn't there or wasn't a good dad or whatever, but he was the best dad he knew how to be because he ain't had no example. So.
Exactly. I mean, I look at it, and I used to reel my brother in with that whole statement because my father had my brother at 20, had me when he was 24. I think back to myself at 20 and 24 trying to raise kids and a wife. Get out of here. I'm failing all day on that.
Well, you know, it's the same thing. That's what Oprah said about her mama. She was like, she was the best mom she knew how to be, but she wasn't the mom Oprah wanted. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't hold my daddy, you know, for whatever he did or didn't do. You know, I just, hey man, the fact that he's still living, I'm thankful for that, and I got to see him. So it's some people out here that don't get to see their dad, don't know their daddy. You know, I mean, because the numbers, technically, you know, if you look up at the CDC, I think like 72%, as far as black people, 72% of women, they are considered single mothers. That don't mean the dad ain't there. That just mean they not married. So that's a whole nother topic on how they try to put all of our, you know, life failures on how we don't have no dad in the home, and that's just not true. It's just that a lot of us ain't married. That don't mean your daddy ain't there. And then there's some single dads out there, you know what I'm saying? Single dads out here stroking it, you know, living life and taking care of kids, man. And I couldn't even imagine, to be honest with you, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying, doing it without my wife. I couldn't even imagine. So, you know.
Yeah, I know a couple of guys who raise their kids on their own without the woman in the house, but you don't get any marriage to that. You don't even get talked
like Bird, you know, Bird was living in Atlanta, the one we coached at Berea. He's living in Atlanta, and his oldest son, you know, the mother was going through a little struggle and, you know, tough times or whatever. He decided to reach out, said he was going to, you know, take 100% of responsibility. Dude dropped his job, gave 2-week notice, and moved back. Got custody of his son, man, and he's out here doing it by himself. You know what I mean? Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man. It's like with Gerald. Like, Gerald ain't with his baby mama, but Gerald be with his kids all the time. Like, if I ain't know no better, I don't know, I just assume your daughter stay with you.
Yeah, I have my kids. I kill my kids all the time. You know, I don't advertise it. I don't do none of it because that's my personal life is my personal life. You know what I mean? I don't sit there and, you know, put it all on social media. But I used to.
Nobody praise you for doing your job.
Yeah, hell no. Your job is to make free throws, and I'm not gonna give you congrats because you made 2. You know,
exactly, dog.
No, I went from getting them, which it was a struggle for. Well, you know, I got 2 baby mamas, so one of them, I won't talk bad about them, but it was a struggle for a while getting my son every weekend. But start out every other weekend, and then every weekend, because when I had my little girls, when I really left the street life alone and kind of started, you know, getting my shit together. But I got them now. I had them all summer. Then they went home on the weekend. And now I get them with this virtual school learning. Now I get them 2 weeks out the month. So I get them every other week. Okay. I get them from Friday to Friday. I love having my kids.
What you talking about, dog?
I mean, even I will say, I did hold a grudge against my dad, man. He's still living. Dude look good, you know.
Really?
he didn't come to my graduation, but you know, he was there for my little sisters. He ended up having 2 more kids. He was there for them all the time, and even to this day, when my brother have Christmas parties and I see my dad, which I only see him maybe once a year, hell, I still smile when I see him. You know what I mean? But I don't want to be like that. You know, I don't be no. Even though I'm not with them, I don't consider myself a part-time daddy because I have my kids all the time. They're here now, and they're old enough to stay here by themselves. So, I love it, man. I wouldn't trade it for the world,
I'm gonna
man.
be honest, like just a personal feeling, like, and this ain't no knock on my dad or your dad, whoever, but honestly, I really couldn't see my life, not being in my kid's life, dog. Like dog, I'm gonna be honest, when we was furloughed for COVID at ZF, man, I love every minute of that being here with Isaiah. And when I had to go back to work, he's like, "Dad, you gotta go back to work?" I was like, "Yeah, man." Like we both was disappointed. I'm like, we doing all kind of stuff in here, dog. I loved it. Then every day I come home, man, the dude, whether you playing the game, whatever you doing, he come down, give me a hug, like, "Hey, Dad, you home from work?" Whatever. Like, I love it. Like, I'm gonna miss it. I already know when he get a teenager, he ain't gonna, like, I know Gray going through that, Gabriel, like, "Yeah, what's up, Pops?" Like,
how old is your son?
9.
Oh yeah. They ain't. You got about 1 more year. He ain't gonna care about you no more. I'm tell you right now, my little girl 15, my son 12. My little girl. Now, if you look at some of my posts on Facebook a long time ago, she's my roadie. My little girl went with me everywhere. Hey, if there was a card party, she was there.
When I remember that.
You had some. Yeah, hey, I had about. Hey, we was everywhere. Hey, because no matter what plan I got, hey, I bring my. Hey, can I bring my daughter? Cause she coming with me.
Real talk.
But hey, it's now that she done got old and she don't really know. She trying to come to herself. Man, I hardly see this girl when she here. So now I done made a point because it used to be aggravating me for a while. I was like, man, look here. When I come home, when this car pull up, y'all bring your ass downstairs and speak to me. I should have to come to your damn room and speak to you.
Dog.
I came home one day, back in the garage. My son, he came downstairs. The little girl, she's still upstairs. I went in her damn room. I said, "What the hell you doing?" I said, "You ain't hear that damn car pull up?" This mother got a damn headphones on. I said, "Look here now. I ain't gonna keep covering these damn still talking to you, but I ain't gonna hold no grudge on like that. But I love it, man. I get on my homeboy all the time, man, because in today's society, today's world, like I said, if you look at social media, you got I don't care if you got, like I said, if you got both parents now, if you got a little girl, if they got social media, they think that's what they supposed to look like. And I tell my homeboy all the time, he's a truck driver. He always on the road, always on the road. I said, man, look here, man. You always gone, dog. I ain't trying to tell you how to be a parent, but you need to be in your daughter's life because your daughter getting older and your ass is gone all the time. I'm telling you right now, when the streets good, it's a wrap. It's like that girl need her daddy.
I ain't lit, man. When my daughter was coming up, man, I feel like the role of a daddy, like, of course, you be there, like you say, Gerald, be there in your daughter's life. Basically, you need to make it so she know how she's supposed to be treated. You know what I'm saying? I buy my daughter Valentine's Day gifts, send them to the school if you can, take them to the school, whatever, I was like, if you can do it, you should do it. And I get that you need to earn money for your family. I understand the whole, like I say, y'all trucking life. I'm glad that you don't have to go out on the road so you can be there for your kids. But when I worked at Benoit, there was a lot of dudes that had kids, man, that was, like you say, going over the road all the time. I'm like,
they rather make the money. They care about what they bring home more than sitting at home with their damn kids.
Dog, let me tell you, man, money can't replace time.
Hell
kids
no.
love all the stuff you buy for them, but like if I just right now after we finish this, if I go upstairs and watch Gumball for 2 hours with Isaiah, he'll think it's the best day ever. Like, and I don't even like Gumball.
Yeah. That's how it happened. But when they get older, though, boy.
Nah, man. Like when my daughter was in middle school, man, I'd pick her up from middle school. And then we'd go, man, she'd go to practice with me. Now, part of that was she probably going through puberty. She see all the little boys or whatever. But anywhere I go, football, basketball, she'd go. And she wouldn't go sit with her friends. She'd sit with me. I used to love it. I told my wife, I'm like, that's my little roadie right there. That's my shadow. Hey, man, you got the 10th grade. My nephew had to stay with me. They could have swore I was Saddam Hussein. He's just too strict. steady hauling everything. She have her phone like walk around the house now. She got her phone on, like right here on her shirt, hooked to her shirt. She be outside the house, somebody text, he won't even call back or text back. I'm like, nah, you in the house, you walk around with that phone all the time. Don't act like you didn't see me call. Now she's 25, she just moved closer. Hey, I'm loving it too. She right around the corner. I get to see my grandbabies all the time. I was like, hey, the first 2 weeks she was there, I just popped up with food just so I could have a reason to pop up.
Yeah, but man, it's a different world today though, man. When it comes to these damn kids, man, I talk to my kids all the time. I try to educate my kids on life situations that they don't experience. Like they mamas don't got the ear to the street.
Yeah.
I'm still, fairly young, so my ears stay to the street. I stay seeing what's going on, and I tell them all the time, look, we got to start doing this, start doing that to make sure that they minds don't go that way. And we watch little TV shows, and after every show, man, I always educate them.
Yeah.
I educate them on friends, fake friends. I educate them on every little thing, watch your surroundings. I raise my kids like they finna go in combat.
They are about to go in combat, dog. They about to go in combat called the world.
Hey, boy, yeah. I told the girl all the time, like, look, you be in that phone all the time. I'll tell you right now, you start driving, put that phone down. You need to be looking around, paying attention to your surroundings. So you need to know if you're being followed. Because even though it might not happen, you just never know.
The same way.
These people snatching little girls up. They kids. This, you know what I mean? I was like, you have to be watching your surroundings. You have to watch your every move because you don't know what's lurking and trying to snatch your ass up.
For real.
So we always watching stuff like it come on ID TV where it was last scene type stuff where a girl might got. We always watch stuff like that, and I educate them after every show. What did you see? What you gotta do to boom, boom, boom? It's just every little thing I try to educate them on, man. Stuff that you just won't get in school or stuff I never got when I was coming up. You know what I mean?
Well.
So I do a different type of parenting than your normal. I don't punish my kids. I'm the discipliner, but the mama's the one to do more of the fussing and punishing them. Me being, I guess, the size I am in my voice, they automatically already scared of me.
Yeah.
Like they won't even, when they in trouble, they won't even look at me, dog. They're like a little puppy. I ain't gotta say nothing. I just know your mama called me.
Well, see, I try to, I'll fuss at Isaiah, but I try to put it in real world terms for him. I always tell him, man, every choice you make, there's a repercussion or a result or an effect from that choice. I was like, see how you chose to, overlook instructions on how to turn your work in. Now you got a 0, which now you can't play your game. So it's not that I'm, against you playing games, but this is the result of your choice. You have choices in life. I can tell you to do something. You can either choose to do it or not choose to do it. You should choose to do it because the after effects of not choosing to do it is not what you want. So just let you know it's going to be some choices in life. So I don't know, man. I guess, Gray, you kind of going through that with Gabriel with the whole, turning stuff in on the virtual school. And I know it's different, but, as parents, we just be like, hey, you got to figure out a way around it, man, because at the end of the day, don't nobody care except for when you get that report card.
Right.
I mean, I always explain it to him, and he knows now. With that first semester or first quarter, I guess it is, his organizational skills are terrible when it comes to turning stuff in and turning stuff in late. And I told him, you know what, you're 14. Now, I don't expect you to have good organizational skills as a 14-year-old boy. But for you to lie to me and say, I got it, when I know you don't have it, is what pisses me off. Because now here we are, I'm writing humbling emails to your teachers trying to get them to allow you to turn stuff in late because you didn't tell me before, hey, I fell behind, but I can't get caught up. If you can't get caught up, then give me the chance to help you get caught up. So, but yeah, he got punished for that stuff, and he knew we had it out one morning. I'm kind of like, yo, I'd love to drag him out the house and just give him a two-piece and let him know what the world might be like. But I realized that he's been almost virtually a year without social interaction with other kids his age.
Mm-hmm.
been virtual school. You know, he's playing football, but he's playing football with a bunch of strangers. He went to a different middle school than most of those guys went to. So he knew maybe 4 people on a team of 60.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So, you know, it was a little different for him this year. It was a challenge, but I think, like I said, with Lex having to come stay with us, on Godson having to come stay with us while he was closing on the house, giving him that older brother scenario to where he could be talking to somebody that's in between me and him, but understood that pretty much was raised by me when it comes to discipline and stuff, the way I treated him when he was in school. It was a little bit different. It kind of helped out the situation. So now when I talk to him about stuff, he gets it. It's not go in my room and pout because I just got yelled at. Because all you heard was the tone. You didn't hear the message. You just heard the tone and the way I gave it to you. Because if I try to be that nice guy with him, hey, man, you should do this, do that, he'd be like, yeah. And he going to go on about his business. I've never been that guy.
Yeah.
So you can't expect me to be calm with you because I'm not going to treat you calm because the world's not going to treat you calm.
Right.
Well, see, all of us had brothers, you know what I'm saying, whether older or younger. One thing that when Isaiah was first born, it's like he started, you know, getting a little older. It's like he ain't got his sister 25 for one, so he ain't even really had no sibling his age. And then he ain't got no boy cousins. He ain't got no brothers. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna drop him off at his cousin's house and they go out there wrestle or whatever. So it's a little bit different trying to teach him, you know, not how to be tough, but not how to be hateful. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
How to know, you know, things that a brother know. Like my brother taught me a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like just I guess because my dad wasn't there a lot of the time, so my brother was there. You know, we wrestle, and then I had friends. Like we just wrestle just to stay tough, just in case somebody try you out in the street. And that's literally what we do.
You know what I'm saying?
We just be sitting around one day, and then somebody start wrestling, and then it just turned into an all-out WrestleMania. So everybody can know how to be, you know, on their P's and Q's when we get out somewhere. And it's like my son, I try to tell him, man, like, look, you know, everybody ain't your friend, man, and everybody ain't you know looking out trying to be the best for you, and you ain't gotta you know do what nobody else tell you. I'm like, you know, I don't teach him to just be hitting nobody, but I say, hey, man, somebody like one time we was at 10 Star, and you know they got the little kid place over to the right when you first come in. There was a little boy in there, man, and I guess I don't know if he's just Isaiah nice by nature, so he just want to have fun. That's all he want to do. Like he that type of kid. He used to go in there, and then as soon as he go in, he be like, "Hey, he remember everybody. Hey, such and such. Hey, such and such." There was one little kid in there, man. And he's like, I guess he used to want to play with a certain toy or whatever, and Isaiah just give it to him, whatever. And then one day I was going to pick him up, and a little kid, I don't know, a little kid pushed Isaiah or something. So we was walking out. I was like, hey, man, if you don't want to play with something, that's fine. You can give it up to him. But if you playing with something first, and somebody come over to ask you for it, that's different. But if he try to take it, I was like, you ain't got to get physical with him, but if he push you, you have all permission to hit back. I was like, you can defend yourself anytime. You don't go off hitting nobody. And so the next day, all I know is they came and got me from when I was working out. The ladies like, they got into a little scuffle. and the lady was like, well, I just want you to know that he did come and tell me first when the kid pushed him, because he said that's what you said do. I told him, look, somebody push you in school or daycare or whatever, you tell the teacher. I say, now if somebody hit you in your face, you don't have to tell nobody. You just hit him back. I was like, but if he push you, tell the teacher. And then you do it again. I was like, hey man, everything's off the table at this point. So he told the teacher, he told the little daycare person, and then I guess the kid pushed him again, and Isaiah punched him in the face. I'm like, Isaiah is strong, but he nice. I'm like, so I'm kind of glad. I'm like, I don't want him to be no bully or nothing, but you know, I just try to let him know, man, listen, man, everybody ain't got your best interests at heart, so you always got to be ready.
Yeah, I stay about kids, you know, about that. You know, like I said, I train them to, you know, get stronger and get in shape. And I also, I do some boxing training with them, but I think I'm going to send them to this other guy who does like jujitsu and all that stuff, because I kind of want them to learn, you know, martial arts, you know, just to get them stuff I didn't get to do when I was little. Now I'm trying to do it at 40.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Take a black belt at 40. I train my kids, you know, we do all kind of boxing stuff. Well, I used to post it a few videos. My little daughter, she done got better now. But Yeah, I trained them to just hey, somebody put their hands on you and you whoop their ass. You've been trained enough. You're stronger. Your average kids ain't working out,
Exactly. See,
so
I think
you're gonna be a whole lot
I think
stronger.
that was one of the best things that I saw a great dude was put Gabriel in karate, and he stayed in karate for
Yeah,
years. You know what I'm saying? Because when you ain't, we grew up in the hood, so all of us grew up in the hood. So you could have been outside playing basketball, pick up, tackle, get into a scuffle. You get into enough of them, you know how to handle yourself. You know what I'm saying? But when you don't play outside, kids these all you know is the first time you get hit in the face, you don't know what to do. So like putting them in
yeah.
karate. So I put Isaiah in karate for a couple of years. I'm just trying to recreate the hood without the income without the income struggles.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
different type of upbringing
You
right
know
now,
what I'm
man.
saying?
It's just all different. We got tough from being
Yeah.
outside. So if we start cracking jokes at an early age, we come home crying and we're cracking
Yeah.
jokes, or we started fighting at an early age. When you outside with other kids, just when you start to learn yourself. But when you have nobody around, and then the little stain, you come in here crying. Don't come in here crying. What the fuck is you crying for? Well, he pushed me. So what? They got pushed all the time.
Hey.
They don't cry. It's different, man. It's a different upbringing with these kids, man. Like I say, the streets, all this gang stuff, man. See, y'all might not be your ear to the street like that, but I stay
No.
with my ears to the street like that. And man, like I said, if you don't stay in your kids' ears, the streets is gonna grab them because music, clothes, shoes. When they see that type of attention, they think that's what they need to be.
Yeah.
And I tell my son all the time, like, son, you can be cool and not hang with the wrong crowd. I said, hell, you can have an ass of shoes come to school every day, and everybody can be like, damn, how many pair of shoes you got? You know what I mean? Just there's other ways you can
Listen.
build a friendship, but he tends to gravitate toward badass kids. And I had to get on him one time. I tell you, boy, I busted his ass one day because I think he in middle school now. I think he was in sixth grade, might be fifth grade. This one got in trouble every day for 2 weeks. His mama called me every day. Now I'm driving. I'm driving truck every day. She called me. Boy, I got so fed up one weekend. He came to my house. I wore his ass out. I ain't whooped him since. But man, I was like, dog, all you do is you just gotta go to school and listen to your teacher. Or how you in trouble every single day and now they want to kick you out of school? I say, no, man, I whooped his ass so bad. But I say, look here, man, you don't want to see the side of me no more. Like this is I'm already big as shit. You know what I mean? Like just don't like dog. Whoever you liking in school or you think that's cool, that ain't what you want to be like, man. And I ain't touched him since.
I tell Isaiah all the time, man.
Yeah, 12 now. I think he was damn. I think it was like I don't know 7.
Well, I tell Isaiah, man, if kids at school say whatever you doing ain't cool, who's the definitive person to say what cool is? I say cool is whatever you say it is. If you like it, then that ain't nobody else gotta like it. I'm like, so if
Right.
you want to go play something, at school, if you want to go play basketball and everybody else playing football, go play basketball. You do what you want to do because they don't define who you are. Like so. I can hear him when he playing the game now because he play online with his cousin and a couple of his friends from school, and he used to be like if he wanted to go play in a certain world on Minecraft
Oh
and,
my
and
God.
somebody else didn't want to do it, he'd do what they want to do. I was like, hey man, you ask them a couple of times if they want. I was like, sometimes you play what they want to, and sometimes they play what you want to. That's how friendship works. I was like, but they don't never want to play what you want to play. Hey man, tell me you'll talk to them later. Period, point blank. I was like, you ain't got to not be friends with him, but you don't have to keep playing with him that day. And I hear him doing it. I'm like, okay, well, at least he's learning.
They learning though. I mean, it's a different world for them. They're not outside like we was. A lot of these kids in the house, so it's. And I tell my kids all the time when I was be talking to them, I was like, look, y'all just growing up in different times, man. So when it comes to communication and stuff like that, y'all have to learn how to talk to me and tell me what's going on. You gotta talk because when you're around other kids, you're more talkative at home. You know how to communicate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just more open. But you just out around other kids, you just kind of you shut in a little bit. You know, you just Like, hey.
I know, right?
Like my daughter, I could be sitting there right now. My daughter walk right by me. Excuse me.
I know, right?
You ain't gonna speak? Like, I ain't seen you since you came out your room. Oh, hey. Like, who does that? Hand me them shoes I just bought.
Your kids stay in the room a lot, Gray?
Yeah, everybody stay in the room around here. I mean, the kids do. I don't really trip about it because that's just who they are. I mean, they all introverted, so when I need them, they're there. When they're not, I don't trip. I mean, everybody stays to themselves when it comes to that. I mean, we're still a family unit. If I tell them to come downstairs, it's time to eat. Everybody's downstairs. It's time to go, whatever. But as far as, like, just staying in your room, I don't care. Just they know that if I walk in your room, I'm walking in your room. I'm not knocking on the door. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I mean, my daughters, because they're my daughters. But
right.
It is what it is. I don't really, I don't know. I just, I interact with my kids the way I think I need to. But as far as, like, trying to stop and control everything that they're doing, I just don't do it. If they want to be in their room the whole day, I just feel like, hey, just appreciate the fact that you got a room that you can be in all day without having to share with a sibling or something like that. But, you know, I mean, kids are different nowadays, and I don't really trip. I just try to make sure that he understands what certain things are going to get you. Right. I don't sugarcoat what's going to happen to you if you go to jail. I don't sugarcoat what's going to happen to you if you have a criminal record, how hard it's going to be for you out here if you get a teenage criminal record. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, use his cousins as examples, but I got plenty of people in our family I can point to and be like, look, see how hard it is for this person?
Right.
And it shouldn't have been for something that happened during a time where they, right now, can't even understand why they would have ever did something so stupid. I try to explain that to them like that. You know, I drive them through the hood back in the day often. Yeah. We'll roll through where Bellmead now has just become terrible. I won't say terrible, but, you know, it's different from when I was growing up, and it wasn't great then. And I'll explain to them, you just because you live where you live don't mean that you can't end up somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Like, at the same time,
your life can change if you go your own.
Exactly. You have to think about it. I could get in a fight in high school, and I get a referral, go to the principal. Principal either suspend me or put me in some in-school suspension or send me to the high school coach to get paddled if I play sports. You get a criminal record for fighting in school. So you've got to make decisions on what's worth you getting in trouble. What's it worth? I mean, an altercation between you and another person can get you a criminal record that you can never recover from. So you got to be smart about what you're going to do in life. And I told him this thing, you have to realize that this little short stint of your life, of high school, 4 years, can determine so much of the rest of your life that you could never be. So, you know, I just try to say to them about that. I just, like I tell them, I show you examples of good, I show you examples of bad. You can make a decision on which one you want to go to, but it's harder to come back out of the bad than it is to come back from the good.
Yeah.
You can go good. I just told myself, when you go down that bad road, it's hard to recover, bro. I said, for y'all, the things that y'all did or they do now in school would probably not even get you a referral when we were in school.
I know, right?
Whereas now it gets you so much trouble to where it drags into your personal life. Or if you got in trouble in school, that didn't make you a bad person in the street. Vice versa, you could be a bad person in the street, and as long as you came to school and did your work, they didn't hold that against you. Right. Now it's just a click of a button, a couple of things. I can pull up anything you've done in your life and say, well, look, this is what you're doing out here. This is what you're doing in school, and you're judged from that point forward. So I feel perfect example. First quarter of school, grades weren't that good. Couldn't figure out why he couldn't get on the field, couldn't get no playing time. But I know the players that are playing in front of him, he played better than them when they played Little League together. Come to find out, they're looking at the grades he's getting in virtual school, and they're just assuming my kid's a bad kid who don't do his work or don't do his schoolwork. You're not looking at the fact that he was just trying to get into the magnet school because he had great grades in middle school, and he maybe not be getting the understanding of virtual school. You just went straight to the fact that, oh, he's not doing what he's supposed to do without looking into it, like you said, without not saying, okay, his habits from the past don't reflect his habits of the day. So what's the difference and what's happened to make this stuff change? So I don't know. I just try to tell them people don't give a shit about you. They give a shit about what they know about you. You get what I'm saying? You know, if you walk into a classroom and the teacher before or the teacher next door to that person says, "Oh, I had that kid last year. He was a pain in the ass." Guess what? The next teacher knows you as a pain in the ass.
My son was like that.
Yep.
Your impression is important. I try to explain that to him. Your appearance and your impression of who you are is important, and it's hell of important as a black man because you don't give it one shot. So I don't know. It's a little different. We know parenting is a struggle for us. You know, it was a little bit easier back in the day. You could get in trouble and somebody could say, "I'm gonna call your parents." You know, dreaded.
Call your parents.
I need to call your. I need the phone number because I gotta call your parents tonight and talk to them. That would ruin the rest of your day until every time your phone rang at home, your heart just start beating. You're like, "Oh, here you go." They don't do that now.
No, they don't.
Imagine you sitting there at phone already like.
You get in trouble at school at 11 o'clock, and your mama tell you get your ass when you get home. So from 11 until she get off work at 6, you think about that ass open the whole
day.
Your life is ruined.
You trying to unplug the phones and everything. Like, I don't know why the phone ain't ringing.
Exactly.
Hey,
like,
do you hope when she come home when she tired? No, you still get that ass.
Boy.
Like,
For real, dog. I don't know, man. You right, though.
Now they don't do that. Like my son, his mama, she's not a stern parent. You know, she created this buddy system, and this buddy system done backfired on her ass now, to the point where the teacher will say, "Well, back when he's getting in trouble all the time, I'm gonna call your mama." Well, in his mind, because she's not gonna do nothing to me. So did we change this? We start saying, "I'm gonna call your daddy." And straightened up, and I told him, I was like, when I get a phone call, I'm coming to the school, and you don't want me to come up here.
I'm all about the embarrassment if I need to.
Hey,
whatever.
But yeah, it's a different time. When they get in trouble, they don't care now. My mama, you got in trouble, man. You scared the whole time. You like, please don't call her.
Dog.
Now they like, okay, call her. You know what I mean? Like,
real talk. Like Grace said earlier, we weren't trying to incriminate ourselves, but hey, man, when I was in high school, I did some stupid stuff, man, and me and my homeboy, we ain't got in trouble one time in public, dog. They took us to the back room, boy. They said at first they was gonna call the police, but they had no evidence or whatever. They say it was going. I was like, man, I'm not worried about the police. I'm worried about Gwen Fowler. I was like, please don't call my mama. I'm like, if you call my mama, my social life is over. I'm like, my mama didn't play that, dog. I didn't care. You can do anything. Give me detention. Give me, whatever extra duty at practice. Don't say you gonna call my mama, because if you gonna call my mama, my life is not gonna be good. So
I think they need to change this discipline system nowadays, because there's just too many kids out here doing the wrong. They're just wrong, man. It's just wrong.
Well, you parenting with your hands tied behind your back, because you can't threaten a kid with physical violence. It's gonna get you in trouble. You can't.
That's what I'm saying. They need to change that system.
Because but if you get to a certain age, like I can't take Gabriel's. So I took Gabriel's phone for him when the grade stuff popped up. Made me so mad when I had to go pick him up, and I needed to talk to him and tell him where I was, and now I was like, dog, I took his phone from him, so now I got to get out the car and go search for him. So the phone is not only it's a tool, but we use it.
In the example you just gave, that's because it inconvenienced you. That don't mean he had to have it.
Yeah,
right. That don't mean he had to have it now. Now, but I get it more so for Gabriel. I get it for Gabriel because he's a high schooler, and technically he can catch a ride with somebody. He can he can get to the house by himself. He can be out in public with friends. But with Gerald's son, he 12. My son 9. Riley 9. Dog. Listen, you the tablet is nice because it keeps you busy while I'm trying to do a podcast or something. But you ain't got to have it. You can find something else. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
Yeah.
And then like with Gabriel, you don't want to take that communication from him because he out in public without you. But there's always, with every kid, there's always something else. That I tell you what, I know my godson. My godson love that Xbox. You take that Xbox from him.
I know. I'll leave the Xbox right there in front of you. I'll leave the box, I'll take the power cord. I'll take every cord in the room. I'll take the power cord off the TV, power cord off the Xbox. I'll lock your phone. I can lock this phone for my stuff. Just by going in there, I'll lock this phone and let you look at all the stuff. You have it, but you can't use it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is just it.
But
what? If I get to a point where I'm taking stuff, because his mother's quick to take stuff, so that's not my go-to. My go-to has always been, when I punish you at the most inconvenient time for you.
Yeah.
It might be 3 weeks from now, and you'll say, like, back when the world was normal, he'd be like, can we go to the jumping place? I can't remember the name of them now because it's been so long since they've been able to go anywhere. But the trampoline, Sky Zone. Nah, dog. Remember 2 weeks ago when I asked you to take out the trash, and it took you 3 days to do what I asked you to do? I can't help it. So now you're being punished. So you have to think about what your consequences are. If I ask you to do something today and you don't do it, I'm a vindictive father. I'll be like, all right, don't worry about it. I got it. You'll be like, oh, Dad's so nice. He took the trash out. Hey. Yeah, I did. But when you need something, right when you want to do something, is when I'm going to hit you in your mouth with no.
Hey, sometimes you got to be petty with your kids.
I shouldn't have to ask you.
Sometimes you just got to be petty.
Sometimes
that's how I educate my kids now, man.
Choices.
I tell them, you'll get more stuff. You'll get more out of me if you do stuff that I don't have to tell you to do. Like if you see the trash is over floor, take it out.
Yeah.
If you see your room clean it up. When I see you do stuff, I'll surprise you with something. But if I gotta keep telling you to do something, them shoes you want, I get when I want to give.
Yeah, you're right. And then, like I say, it's about choices, though.
Show me that you can take responsibility, and I'll give you whatever you want.
Yep.
But if I gotta sit there and tell you all the damn time, when you know it's your job to do the trash, clean your bathroom, clean your room up, vacuum, just do this.
That's all.
Hell, see if I need some help. If I'm outside, doing something. Hey, you want something to drink? Do stuff like that. And I'd be like, oh,
yeah.
Let me wash this car and change clothes and take these some shoes or something. You know what I mean? Just you get whatever you want.
Just cater to me a little bit, brother.
Just a little bit. Act like you like me like you did when you was small.
Act like you like me when it's time to get that game or them shoes or whatever. Do that when you ain't trying to get something. Yeah, ultimately, like I don't care if you don't like me. I want you to love me, but I know you're not gonna like me all the time.
Right.
When my daughter was going through the teenage years, I knew she wasn't gonna like me, but I know what I know is best for you going forward. You know what I'm saying? I know you didn't like study hall every night at 7 o'clock, but you was getting A's and B's. So, you know what? I'll be the villain. That's fine. So then you graduate on high school on time. You go on to college. Now you develop good study habits. When I first started coaching, my mama said kids need discipline, and they actually, whether they know it or not, they want discipline.
Boy. Coaching. How about they ask your boy to coach?
Oh Lord, you don't need to be coaching no kids, man. Appreciate y'all hanging out with the local dudes. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It's the guys down the street. Till next time. Deuces.
I know you not that far. Come down the street with the guys. Come down the street with the guys.